now by former prosecutor Randy Zellen. Randy, so good of you to join us here. Just wanted to get your response and your take on what the FBI said today. I believe you were watching, but not very much they could offer.
Well, it was actually quite telling. Before the press conference, at least I was under the impression that all that they were going to announce was the finding of Mr. Laundrie's personal belongings. So I was shocked to a certain degree when I heard human remains. Now, I shouldn't have been shocked because we were told in advance that there was a cadaver dog and a medical examiner that was brought to the scene. Typically, if you were doing a search for someone that you thought was alive, you might not have a cadaver dog out there. You might have a forensic dog. You might have a dog that doesn't have an imprint for someone post-mortem, for remains. And the fact that they brought a medical examiner out, a medical examiner typically gets called into the scene post-mortem again, when someone is already dead, when you find human remains. So in hindsight, perhaps we should have known, but there's no answer here. Are we pleased that it may be the remains of Brian Laundrie? Is that justice? We don't live in an eye for an eye society. Is that going to be closure for anyone? Is that fair to the family of Brian Laundrie? Is it fair to the family of Gabby Petito, not knowing what happened if it is Brian Laundrie? Is justice done at any level? Remember, we don't know and may never know if Brian Laundrie was actually responsible for Gabby Petito's death. We can assume it, but that's not the standard of proof. We may see things that happen after the fact that he left alone, he showed up alone, he disappeared, he used her credit card after she was already dead, refused to cooperate. But that's not direct evidence that he's responsible for her death. That's what we call consciousness of guilt. So I sit here as a human being. This is just beyond my ability to put into words, to make any sense, to fathom any of what we are seeing and hearing right now. This is a tragedy on so many different levels that it's beyond my ability to adequately discuss.
Yeah, and Randy, this search has been going on for so long, and that also raises the question as well to what you just were alluding to. You know, if these remains are Brian Laundrie, is the case over?
Well, you would think from a practical standpoint, since he has always only been the person of interest. But again, we don't know what the medical examiner is going to determine. Did Mr. Laundrie die of natural causes because he was out there with no food, no ability, perhaps as much of apparently he was experienced in being a survivor? Maybe he was in a little over his head. Maybe he committed suicide. Maybe he was murdered. We simply don't know. We can speculate all day long. Hopefully the medical examiner will shed light on the cause of death. Certainly if he was submerged underwater, that might have slowed down the decomposition. Unfortunately, science tells us when a body is out of submerged water, it tends to decompose quickly. We don't know if alligators got to the remains. We don't know if insects, we don't know if other animals got to the remains. We may never know the cause of Brian Laundrie's death. We know that the cause of Gabby Petito's death was a homicide, but we don't know at whose hands. So again, I hate to belabor the point, but is justice done if it turns out that they're Brian Laundrie's remains? I certainly am not in a position to say that, and I don't know that anyone is. That's certainly not the system that we live by, and the system of justice that we all are supposed to be proud of, and the system that we live under.
Yeah, Randy, we've just been showing our viewers aerials and live videos from the scene earlier today. This is a huge natural reserve, a huge expanse of wetland and marshland, about 25,000 acres. And investigators have been there intermittently throughout the last several weeks. There's been some reporting to suggest that the Laundrie parents went there today, in addition, kind of tipped off investigators, and they did this in conjunction. They searched in conjunction. If that is the case, why would the Laundrie parents be allowed to search with the FBI alongside them?
Well, I think the easy answer is that the Laundrie parents have known more than they have been willing to share with the public, perhaps more than they were willing to share with law enforcement until now. I hate to say it, and at the risk of being accused of being a talking head and a Monday morning quarterback, it is a little coincidental that for weeks and weeks and weeks, no one has been able to find a trace of Brian Laundrie. Yes, there are sightings, there are alleged sightings, but no one has found hide nor hair. And suddenly, the Laundrie family offers to assist in the search, which I believe was as of this morning. And then by this afternoon, there's a press conference where human remains and items belonging to Brian Laundrie have been found. A coincidence? That's one hell of a coincidence. So it would suggest, and the evidence when we talk about proof would suggest that the Laundries probably didn't guess right. Yes, maybe they knew where their son typically goes, but they could have told law enforcement that ages ago. So yes, it would seem, and perhaps it will come out one day, whether it was a crisis of conscience, whether it was enough of the pressure, or perhaps knowing, listen, it's over and we don't need to protect our son as a parent might do. We can agree with or disagree with the Laundrie's decision not to cooperate with law enforcement in what perhaps was a misguided effort to protect their son. But yes, they get involved this morning, and by this afternoon, we are having a conversation with your viewers talking about the fact that a press conference was held, human remains were identified, and we may have a positive identification tomorrow.
Yeah, and just to keep on the angle of the parents, you know, I wanted to get your take on their attorney that's representing them. His name is Stephen Bertolino. I believe he's based in Long Island. What do you think, how do you think the job that he has done so far? We haven't really heard from the Laundries, just in kind of piecemeal statements through their attorney throughout the duration of this. They've reiterated through their statements, you know, how sorry they are, the condolences they give to Gabby's family. They haven't been put in front of cameras to answer questions, no doubt. They were going to have a press conference, I believe about a month ago, and that was canceled hours before. Do you think their attorney is doing them well?
There is a reason why Shakespeare said, first kill all the lawyers. Most people think it's because Shakespeare hated lawyers. It so happens that that's not the case. In fact, Shakespeare was complimenting lawyers, that without lawyers, you would have anarchy. So if you want to have anarchy, if you want to live in a lawless society, kill all the lawyers. The point here is, as a human being, no one is going to agree with counsel's advice to the Laundrie family to appear not to be cooperative, not to come forward, not to tell the world what they know, not to tell the world and share with the world what went on before, during, and afterwards, where their son is. How is it that they don't know where their son is? How is it that it seems that their son had a week or 5 days of a head start to evade law enforcement? As a human being, you say to yourself, who would countenance such behavior? But from a lawyering standpoint, that is a lawyer's job. A lawyer's job is to protect your client. And Mr. Bertolino, to his credit, gave nothing away that would have assisted law enforcement to be able to prosecute his client, assuming that his client was in fact Brian, as opposed to the parents, or the client was all three of them. So to his credit, he did his job. We may not like it as citizens, we may not like it as human beings, but Mr. Laundrie had an absolute right against self-incrimination. He had an absolute Fifth Amendment right to keep his mouth shut and not do a damn thing. The burden of proof remains with the prosecution, and it was not Mr. Bertolino's job, unless that was a strategy, to assist law enforcement in prosecuting his client.
Randy, last question for you. You know, this is not going away. This is still going to be happening in the next days and weeks ahead. What will you be watching for? Obviously, everyone will be watching for, you know, the identification of these remains, but from a legal standpoint.
Certainly from a legal standpoint, we would like to know Mr. Laundrie's cause of death. We would like to know if amongst his personal belongings there are any clues, there's any proof that might shed some light on what happened to Gabby Petito. Did he write something? Did he confess by writing something down. Was maybe another cell phone there that wasn't ruined by the water, though I would find that difficult to believe, and perhaps papers as well. But some clue, some hint, some evidence that might provide law enforcement with closure, and more important, the Petito family with closure. And then, of course, you have the Laundrie family, and depending on what side of the aisle you sit with the Laundrie family, they lost and may have lost a son. Their name is probably forever tarnished by accident of the birth of their son. We don't know what was going on with him. So they've lost a son. The Petitos have lost a daughter. Our community is left wondering once again, what is going on with domestic violence? And at what point are we going to tackle the crisis of domestic violence and human beings not having the self-discipline and self-control to address their problems like human beings and not like animals?
All right, Randy Zellen, former prosecutor, coming on the program tonight here on Live Now. We appreciate your time. We'll no doubt be speaking again. Have a great night.
Thank you very much for having me.